willing to die for this shit. I'm ready to flip and I end up in prison the rest of my life for this shit. Said my mama ain't want me, she got in the bush and I end up surviving this shit. And if I want a son, I ain't got the money, I'd probably be robbing this shit. Don't know how much I cry for this shit. Said I'm willing to ride for this shit. You know murder's my hobby, inside of my closet's a bunch of dead bodies and shit. Niggas say that I'm cursed cause I go to church and stare at the Bible and shit. Shorty say I'm the worst cause I do my dirt and I don't be hiding this shit. Bitch, I'm a savage, I spit at you bastards, I wonder what you gonna do to me, oh. I need to hear some more rapping, I'm just not impressed by your cash and your jewelry, oh. All you my soldiers and I'm a lieutenant, goddamn it, you should be saluting me, oh. I hope you know I ain't going nowhere, you niggas better get used to me, ho nigga, I must have blowing my jeans, bought me a Jeep, cause I wasn't riding as much. My bank account looking weak, don't look at me, I ain't got time for no fun. Starting to feel like Tyrese, I'm about to trip and maybe start crying or something.
Yo, Hacks, what's good, what's good, what's good, everybody? Spider, what's good? Mike, what's happening, what's happening? Yeah, join us, baby. Unidentified trap when I'm flying past, I'm an alien standing in the view, look up in the sky. Blow your mind back, push your eyes back in your iPad, and my eye back against the side when the bombs are loaded and your mind explode in the wind. Then you gon' sit down, repent. I was raised in the sword. Me and the it clown are friends. Red balloons for your kids. Stick my tooth in your bitch. I lost too many friends. I don't do good with kids. Yeah, get the copyright strike. It's alright, man. It's alright with the copyright strike. Ain't nobody gonna watch this shit anyway. When there's no heat again and the rent is due and your landlord try to throw you out on the streets again, nigga. I was always dreaming of a building in a fucking Lamborghini. When I win, I'm gonna finally get a break. If I didn't get away before, I guarantee that if I told the guy, then I can say I got it when I pray. She don't really want me to get petty, turn the time into a penny, but you know I got a lot of shit to say. I got just some water in a henny, drink it up and let the semi shoot a pop. Your niggas all up in the face, blood all up in the lake. I wanna see a wake die. They don't wanna wait by creep when I came by. Teeth like a canine, bleed through your Levi. We from the east side, eat when the beast out. Teeth from the deep boy spitting that Kodak, boy. Oh man. Anyway, let me turn it down. Let me get into the topic. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, man, let's talk about it. Okay, so I was setting up my itinerary of games that I need to review, live stream, do impressions for, and I was looking through the library of games coming out in the next 4 months, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was actually surprised at the list of games that's coming out, how small it was. One, pause. Two, I was also surprised that the amount of games, how there's not really nothing coming out until God of War. So there's not anything, like, it's dry, yo. It's dry out here. I was setting up, you know, my thumbnails and my graphics for, you know, the games I was planning on reviewing and stuff. And when I went to go make an itinerary, my list is 0 right now. Yo, Craig Harris, Rose, Nev, what's good, y'all? So I was pretty much looking at February, March, and April, and all the way up until God of War, there is no games coming out in April, and that's 420. I'm like, yo, we got a dry 3 months ahead of us, people. I don't know, man. Now, as far as YouTube, man, I mean, as y'all can see, like I said in the last riding with Jimmy, I said it's YouTube dying. And, you know, of course, some people took that literally and was like, oh, hell no, it's not YouTube, it's you, it's your channel. And that's not what I meant. I mean, when you look around at the amount of content, there's not a lot of content on YouTube right now as far as gaming is concerned. A lot of it is topical discussion, which is fine, you know what I mean? But it makes it hard. It makes it hard not to jump into, like, talking about, like, drama-related issues and crumb size shit when it's dry like that. YouTube is dry. The gaming streets is dry. It's dry, my peoples, for the next 3 months. It's dry. Far Cry 5. Did they push that back? Because it's interesting you say that, because that comes out in March. And I went to go contact them about a review copy of this game. And I noticed it was not up there. So let me check the date on that, because it was supposed to be March. But interestingly enough, when I contacted Ubisoft, when I went through the review process, that lady was just gonna jump out in front of my car. She needs to relax. The game wasn't there. Far Cry was not there. So let me look it up now. I noticed that Far Cry wasn't there too. So let me get I'm looking at the press kit to find out the date. For those of y'all that want to know what I'm looking at, I know some of y'all be like, "What is he staring at in his phone?" And I should not be doing this while I'm driving. So just do me a favor. And don't tell nobody, all right? I got a big bus turning here. I hate being on the side of the highway like that.
Okay, so I'm looking at February. There's nothing. So the next game that's coming out that remotely has my interest is this Bravo Team, and that's a PlayStation VR game. Life is Strange. This is February. That's like the only 2 games coming out that I could see somebody being interested in. And then from there we go into March. Now I'm looking in March, and surely enough, I'm not seeing Far Cry. I'm not seeing it. So I'm wondering, did it get delayed? Alright, hold on. Yeah, I don't see Far Cry. I see Sea of Thieves. And let's keep it real. You know, I'm not interested in Sea of Thieves, but I hope it does good for Xbox sake. But yeah, I see Sea of Thieves. Let me stop right here. Let me pull over on the side of the road, because I really need to find this out. Okay, so I see Devil May Cry HD Remastered that's coming out in March, right? That's something I might be interested in. I like to support Capcom. I like Capcom games. I might get that if it's a reasonable price. Attack on Titan 2, I'll have that on my channel. You said Battlefield 1. Sea of Thieves. And yo, honestly, A Way Out. Okay, Far Cry is there. It's the 28th. Okay. So we got to wait till the end of March. So we got a month ahead of us of dead air. So it's dry, man. It's dry for now, but in March it'll pick up. There's like 4 games I want to get in March. Let me read this comment. Have Monster Hunter World Sword Air Online Fatal Built. Well, you naming games? Hold on. Yeah, let me see this. You naming games. Let me read that. Monster Hunter World Sword Air Online Fatal Built this Friday. High School. None of those games. Bayonetta 1 and 2 on Switch. None of those games are interesting to me. Yo, I got Monster Hunter. I played it for about 30 minutes and turned it off and never played it again. Look, the thing with Monster Hunter, I need to give it a chance. I'm not going to knock Monster Hunter completely, but I'm going to just tell y'all my situation. I need to give Monster Hunter a chance, but my problem what I'm having with the game is I hate the way the mechanics work. And y'all know me. When I review games, one of the main categories I like to talk about is the controller scheme, the mechanics, the way the mechanics work for the controllers of the game. And honestly, Monster Hunter has some of the most atrocious mechanics I have seen this year. In the last year, since 2017 begun. Monster Hunter is up there in like my top 5 worst mechanics of a video game. I mean, I'm not bashing the game for that, because it could be because I need to find a weapon that suits me, because that's what I'm being told by my friends and family. One of my family members is a big fan of the game, and he's telling me that you have to find a particular weapon that suits your play style, and then you'll like the game. So I have to sit down and play with all the weapons, because honestly, I haven't done that. So that's why I'm not knocking the game completely and calling it trash. But the mechanics that I saw when I had this like broadsword, it was atrocious. Because, you know, I like anime, so I like when they use those big weapons like that. So I wanted to try a big weapon in this game, but the mechanics were so atrocious, I had to turn the game off. It was just so bad. To swing your sword in a combo, it was like pulling tooth. I just don't like that type of stuff. So I'm going to give it a chance. And I'm going to sit down and play it. Maybe this week I'll do it. But for right now, Monster Hunter, the mechanics, basura. Okay? That's just my opinion. Those mechanics I couldn't get past the bad mechanics of the game. I'm sorry. But I'll try it. I'll try different weapons and see before I bash it. Because it might be a low-key good game. But right now, those mechanics are beyond not good. Can you chill out, my man? Relax. Alright, so let me see this. Monster Hunter. Bayonetta. I can't... Honestly, look. I've been doing research on Bayonetta to decide if I should mess with it or not. I have a Switch. It's sitting there for no reason. I can't justify paying like $50 for Bayonetta on the Switch. I can't. When I could just play the game on... I could play Bayonetta 1 on Steam for like $10, and I think I have a key. And then Bayonetta 2, I could just play that on on one of the consoles I already have for much cheaper than $50 on the Switch. But, or $60. I don't even know if the price is 60. It's probably 60 knowing Nintendo. But I'm not gonna knock it because I didn't play it. But what I saw from Bayonetta is not interesting at all to me. It's not. It's just not interesting at all. Now, if Nintendo has some, damn, that was nice. Now, if Nintendo had some achievements, that would give me an incentive to get that game. But just to play it, just to say I played it, nah, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. We cannot do it, man. Cannot do that, man. We cannot do it. All right. So it's dry out here, man. I mean, I'm looking. I don't really got nothing to play, man. I've been playing like old stuff on my system. Monster Hunter, you just have to find the weapon. Yeah, that's what my nephew was telling me. My nephew was like, yeah, you gotta find your weapon. But I've been playing like Dragon Ball Z, Fighters Z. Let me correct myself because someone will come in the comments and tell me I didn't say the name right. Even though everybody knows what I'm talking about. And niggas be up early in that Discord over there, man. Anyway. So, I don't know, man. I mean, when y'all start bringing up, like, old games to the Switch, it's definitely dry, though. Like, y'all gotta understand that proves it's dry. If you start talking about Bayonetta on the Switch, shit is dry out here. It's definitely dry out here. Definitely dry. So, it ain't too much to talk about. Alright, let's switch topics a little bit. Let me see if I could. Nope, he ain't gonna let me. Always the Camry, man. Always somebody in the Camry. Switch sword shield is fun and turns into an axe. I don't know. I don't know. Switch don't have nothing right now that I want to play. Nothing. I got Zelda and Mario, and those are the only two games I wanted to play. I have not finished either one of those games. You know, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to tell y'all the truth about Zelda Breath of the Wild, right? It's a great game. Now, this is not a knock on the game itself, but this is something I kind of noticed. All right, I was able to emulate Zelda Breath of the Wild on my PC. And when I upgraded my graphics card to a 1080 Ti, the graphics on... Wagos was good. The graphics on Breath of the Wild on my PC actually look way better than it does on my Switch. And it's kind of disappointing me because I want to play it on PC. But the PC has bugs, so I'll play it on... the Switch. But the PC version looks better, man. PC version looks better. Kind of noisy right here. Hold on, guys. Let me pull into the spot, and I'm waiting to go into the parking lot. See, I know I gotta go into the parking lot. I can't be out on the street no more because, you know, people crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, get my VIP parking. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Anyway, now I can talk and read the chat. All right, chat. Let's talk. Okay. Hey, yo, what up, gaming community? I mean to say Monster Hunter World has Switch, Blade, Sword, and Shield does crazy combo. The combos in Monster Hunter are atrocious because of the mechanics. And once again, I'm going to have to give it a little bit more time. But I've been researching the mechanics of the game by watching various people play it and stream it. And what I've noticed is that the mechanics are just not good for the game, in my opinion. I'm sorry, but Monster Hunter looks like it's going to go down as the game with the worst mechanics for 2018. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to start giving out the worst of awards. And we're going to nominate Monster Hunter World already for worst mechanics of 2018. Those are some atrocious controls. And the game, it just has bad controls and mechanics to me. I'm sorry. Y'all know, like I said, I'm a big stickler for controls And Monster Hunter has some terrible, terrible mechanics. Okay? Terrible. Monster Hunter World, not a game for casuals. That's hilarious because Monster Hunter World is not a difficult game. It's not a hardcore RPG. It's none of those things to say casuals. You can't use the word casuals versus hardcore gamers with Monster Hunter World because any moron could pick that game up and run around and swing a sword. So please stop acting like Monster Hunter World, Nev, is some, oh, you gotta be born with the controller in your hand to play the game. No, it's not. It's nothing like that going on here. So please cut it out. Cut it out, man. Monster Hunter World is not complicated at all. Stop it. Capcom don't make games that's non-casual, okay? Capcom is not even capable of doing this. Stop it. It's Remember the publisher we're talking about, by the way, it's Capcom. Capcom wants your 2-year-old daughter to play Monster Hunter World. And you could tell that from the talking cats, the talking animals and all this nonsense. You got monsters that roar, but then you got cats that could talk. What the fuck? Anyway, though. So this is Capcom for you, man, in a nutshell. Now, I'm not roasted. I'm just, I'm just talking. I'm just, I'm exercising the chops, as they would say. But, yeah, but it's still dry, though, man. I mean, looking at the list, we could look at, matter of fact, you know what? Let's look at, the games that have come out, and then we can see right here. I'm going to show you guys. So, okay, so, Metal Gear Survivor released yesterday. Did anybody pick that up? That's another bad game. Like, the mechanics, man, you know what? Damn, we got a competitor. Okay, so worst mechanics is a tie between Metal Gear Survivor and Monster Hunter World, because Metal Gear Survivor low-key might be worse, actually. Yeah, it might be worse. Yeah, that's what I said. Monster Hunter World is a hack and slash. You talking about it's not for casuals. That was funny, Nev. That was a funny joke, Nev. Very funny. Okay, so worst mechanics. We're going to have, so far we got 3 contenders. We got 3 contenders here for worst mechanics. We got Metal Gear Survivor, Dynasty Warrior 9, and we have Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World, in my opinion, now I can't say it's leading the pack, but it's tied with Metal Gear Survivor. Metal Gear Survivor has some of the most atrocious mechanics. Now, Metal Gear is a game that's good, but it's always been known to have terrible mechanics. That's not a question. Metal Gear has always had some of the most atrocious mechanics you will find in a video game. Metal Gear has always been bad with control mechanics and control schemes. That's a fact. Most, matter of fact, I'm not going to say what I was about to say. It's going to come out wrong. But Metal Gear has always been known for that. So I'm looking at all the new releases, man. And, yeah, it's not too many, it's not too much things, man. Shadow of the Colossus was the last good game that released, and that released on February 6th. Jimmy, when do you think Spider-Man is getting a release date, and when do you think it will drop? I think Spider-Man is going to drop in June. That's my personal belief. I think 2 months after God of War, or 2 to 3 months, the latest after God of War, we're going to get Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is going to come out right after God of War. But it's going to be at least 2 to 3 months in between. You know, they got to sell all those games. So, I think we'll get it by June or July the latest. But it'll be in the summer. Definitely in the summer. Now, I didn't play Neo Kuni. I hear a lot of things about Neo Kuni, but honestly, Neo Kuni is not my cup of tea. Yeah, so Dragon Ball was probably the last game that released this year at Monster Hunter World that people were getting and buying. I'm looking at playing Bayonetta 2. I don't know what is this Bayonetta hype. Here's the thing about Bayonetta I don't understand. That game is old. Everybody's acting like this is like some new game that got released. What surprises do I think will be at E3? Honestly, this year at E3, I wouldn't expect any surprises. The only thing I would suspect from E3 this year, from Xbox, is for them to announce some new IPs. Outside of that, I wouldn't expect anything else because PlayStation, in my opinion, is in this weird, comfortable spot. The only big surprise y'all might get that y'all really won't expect at E3, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all really are not gonna expect this at E3, and it might happen. And y'all hearing this from me first, of course, because people are gonna say that nah, it's not happening, it's not possible, no way. But there is a big rumor going through the game industry that the PlayStation 5 is coming out next year. So I know y'all keep saying, no, that's a big rumor, y'all. And I don't mean rumor as far as people making clickbait videos. Like, there's a big rumor that possibly the PS5 may drop in 2019, the holiday season. So y'all may hear something about that at E3. Y'all might hear about some new 9th generation consoles. That would be the biggest surprise to me at E3, because I'm hearing that there's a rumor that these consoles are worked on and they want to release them next year. He said that's dumb as fuck. Listen, you say that, right? But I don't know, man. I mean, y'all not paying attention to one thing, right? Look at the way the games that have been coming out this generation have been behaving. There's a lot of limitations on the games. People want 60 frames. People want 4K. People want things that they can't get from these consoles. And these consoles want to sell. They may do it. They may make a PS5. They may make it backwards compatible off the rip with PS4, so all you're doing is upgrading. They might do it. I don't think they'll do it because, like you said, it seems too dramatic to do, but they might do it. People fucking, things are crazy. They might do it. They might do it. Now, if you go back to the beginning of my channel, like 2 years, like, you'll see that I was talking about when the PS4 and Xbox One came out, there was specs for a stronger version of the console. And what did we get? We got a mid-gen refresh, which is actually normal. That's not abnormal. Xbox 360 did a couple of refreshes. They actually have 4 different versions of the Xbox 3 out upon its life cycle. And I'm talking about hardware differences inside the console. Now, when I told y'all that, then they came out with an Xbox One X and a PS4 Pro. People told me I was lying about that. People told me there was no way that was going to happen. People told me I was crazy. I got called a lot of names when I said there was going to be another version of the Xbox and PlayStation being released because there was specs for a stronger console, but they didn't want to release it because it was too expensive. People told me I was lying. People said I didn't know what I was talking about, especially in the Facebook groups. People called me all kinds of liars. Now we have a PlayStation Pro and the Xbox One X. I'm telling y'all from what I heard, and it's a big rumor, that the PS5 is coming out next year. I'm telling y'all what I heard. They said the PS5 is looking to launch the holiday season of 2019. So I'm just telling y'all what they said. Will they do it? Maybe not. But I'm telling y'all now, when it hits November of 2019, the PS5 is going to be somewhere floating around. If it's not released, it's going to be getting ready to be released. Read what you said. Let me go up and see. Those limitations don't mean shit. They won't release a new console until the current one stops selling. Nah, that's not true. That's not how consoles work. That's not how they work. Sony don't need to release a PS5 in 2019. I agree that they don't need to, but I think that look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, right? This is speculation right now, what I'm about to say. This is not like me giving you some inside information I heard about or whatever. The PS5, right? Alright, Sony right now, I'm gonna just keep it real. Sony's going through a weird change. There's something going on at Sony that people are not paying attention to. I'm gonna talk about it here. Sony is in a vulnerable place right now. I'm going to tell y'all why. The president stepping down, the games as a service, the changing of physical, digital. There's a decision that needs to be made here. And I don't think Microsoft is going to do that first. I think what's going to happen is they're going to let Sony bite the bullet on that. They're going to let Sony bite the bullet on that. Yo. They're going to let Sony bite the bullet on that. And then Microsoft is going to step out with this whole games as a service, digital everything. That's what I think is going to happen. Now, what I think is going on is Sony's going to have to go games as a service. They said a whole bunch of shit about how they didn't want to do it. And then the president stepped down. Very suspicious to me. I keep telling y'all, it's very suspicious to me that he stepped down after he made this big stance against games as a service. Then Nintendo turned around and said they're going to have games as a service. Xbox turned around and said they're going to have games as a service. And here's Sony over here holding that white flag going, hey, we're for the gamers, da-da-da-da. Games as a service, B. First of all, let's talk about games as a service and how Sony's being hypocrites. And yeah, ponies, get ready because I'm getting ready to give y'all that work right now. First of all, games as a service was started by Sony when they released the PlayStation Now bullshit. So that's a whole lot of bullshit right there. Now, Sony ponies, I gotta give y'all this work. Okay, that was the first fuck up, right? The second fuck up is charging you for PS2 games and PS3 games and telling you they can't emulate the PS3. But meanwhile, there's a PS3 emulator that they cracked and got working on the PS4 to prove that the PS4 can emulate PS3 games. So Sony got caught lying about that, but the ponies did like this, man. They was like, yo, I hear no evil, I see no evil. That's what the Sony ponies did. Now, Sony got caught lying about emulation. Instead of giving y'all emulation, they gave y'all games as a service and said, hey, you want to play your favorite PS3 games that you got sitting on the shelf? Fuck your shelf. Give us $30 and we'll let you play a streamed version of your crappy ass game. Now, Sony dicked y'all in the ass with that. I watched y'all not say a word about this. Amen. I watched y'all, I repeat, not say a word about this. Amen. And I saw how that went. Now, it's very weird to me that they got this stance against games as a service. Meanwhile, they got caught lying about emulating PS3 games and turned around and charged you as a service for your PS3 library. All right? All right? So, Sony is going through a weird thing right now. Sony's lying to y'all. Y'all all not letting this shit slide. Sony's in a comfortable spot and a cocky spot right now. Very cocky. The Spider-Man having no release date, God of War being pushed back, Detroit not having a release date, Days Gone not having a release date. If they pull up the E3 with these fucking games, B, Sony is comfortable, and in my opinion, they're too comfortable. So, Sony is in a weird place because somebody got to take the hit and go games as a service. Xbox took the first hit and said, we're doing it. And it was wrong. Because Games Pass was not the first games as a service situation. That was why I said that was wrong. Because PlayStation Now was the first. They did it first with that. Alright? So a lot of people went, oh, games as a service is bad. Sony had games as a service ever since PS Now dropped. My TV has PS Now on it. I don't have to have a PlayStation to play PS3 games. And some PS4 games. So, you know, we could talk about a whole bunch of things, but at E3, man, you may hear about a PS5. I'm just telling y'all, word on the street is they would like to release the PS5 holiday season of 2019 and the new Xbox console, even though we just got an Xbox One X. Now, if you go based off the pattern, the Xbox One X came out a couple months ago. So are we going to wait a couple years before we get another Xbox? Hell no. When Sony dropped the PS5, the Xbox is coming out the next year. We all know that. We all know how this works. Xbox is going to go, oh, okay, you showed us what you got. Now we're going to show you what we got. We already know it's going to go tit for tat. Xbox ain't jumping out the window with the next generation console. They're going to let Sony go first. It's going to be like the 360 era, in my opinion, as far as hardware. I'm not going to say games. They're going to let Sony go first. They're going to let Sony jump out that window. Then they're going to come firing up Sony's butt with the new console, with the better specs, and hopefully they'll have games this time. You know, the problem with Microsoft is that they didn't have games last time, and this is how they lost. You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real about Microsoft. I don't have no faith in y'all having games. The reason I don't have faith in Microsoft having games is because I don't like their publishers. They don't have good publishers like Naughty Dog on their team, and until they get one like that, then that's the situation that I'm looking at. That's the way that I'm seeing it. So I don't know what to tell you with that. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I'm seeing it. That's just me, though. So, in my opinion, man, E3, you may be hearing about hardware. You may be hearing about hardware. I expect to hear a lot about virtual reality. A lot about that from PlayStation because the PSVR is at what? 3 million right now, or close to 3 million? So, you know, they're going to be talking about that. He said, I thought I was listening to an upload while I was playing Destiny 2. So, you know, you never know, man. You never know. But I would expect to hear about some hardware. Whether it be the PlayStation VR, whether it be the PS5. I don't think they're going to re-release the Pro. That would be ridiculous. But like I said, man, let me just tell y'all where I heard the rumor at so y'all don't go too crazy too thinking I'm just talking. I heard it from Digital Foundry. There was a video where they were talking about it, and I think it's the one where they were talking about the diecast for the Xbox One X and the PlayStation Pro, and they were talking about the rumor that the PS5 wants to be released in 2019. So if anybody wants to reference what I'm talking about and y'all think I'm lying, yeah, the PS5 from Digital Foundry, they heard the same rumor. I heard the rumor before. The PlayStation 5 wants to release in the holiday season of 2019, which makes sense considering that the PlayStation and the PlayStation Pro both came out in November or October or something like that, the end of the year towards the holiday season. So it does make sense that they would want to do that. However, if y'all want to reference the source of my information, go to Digital Foundry and watch the video where they talk about the diecast for the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro. You know, I'm a hardware enthusiast. I'm not going to say I'm a tech guy, but I'm a hardware enthusiast, and I paid a lot of attention to the video. And there is a part in the video, if you're patient and watch it, where you hear them talk about Sony having the PlayStation 5 available in 2019. So I heard that the holiday season of 2019, they want to release it. And like outset in the chat, 2019 PS5, 2020 Xbox One or Xbox 2 or whatever they're going to call it. It's probably going to be called Xbox 2 actually, which is, ugh, that's a bad name, but probably going to be called that. So just so y'all know, because I don't want y'all to think I'm just pulling that out my ass, because people would be like, yo, what's Jimmy talking about? I'm talking about a rumor that I heard, and Digital Foundry reinstated that rumor, because I said it before Digital Foundry did. Of course, people not going to know that, but if you go to that video, you'll see that I'm at least telling the truth about the rumor being a rumor that people who are credible in this community have heard. Alright? So, y'all don't think I'm just talking because I got lips. You feel me? So, with that being said, man, don't be surprised if you hear about some PlayStation new hardware, man. You might hear something. You're going to hear something. You're going to hear something. Just expect to hear something. That's all I'm saying. So, at E3, I'm expecting new IPs from Xbox. I'm expecting hardware news from PlayStation. I'm expecting hardware news from Nintendo Switch as well. And I'm also expecting to hear about a new Zelda game from Nintendo at E3. Even though I know E3 is not a Nintendo thing anymore because they got Nintendo Direct. So that kind of replaced their presence of talking about new things at E3. So that'll be that. But with that being said, man, that's my early predictions of what I would expect here at E3 so far. I don't know. We got to see what they do. So you don't want to get a $60 game. Sony will not mention the PS5 at E3. Place your bets, please. I didn't say PS5. I said hardware. You may hear something about hardware. They're not going to come out at E3 and say, hey, we're releasing the PS5. I know they're not going to do that. They may hint at it. They may talk about hardware. They're going to talk about some kind of hardware, though. I guarantee you that. Yeah, you're pretty late, bro. You're pretty late, bro. Talk about next gen is irrelevant to me right now. You say that, man, but you know what? And I understand why you guys feel that way. But like I said, man, I'm not saying y'all don't look at it the same way I look at it. But I'm like a fraud as Digital Foundry as far as like counting pixels and watching frames and looking at how these games work. And there's a lot of limitations on these consoles, man. There's a lot of limitations on this console, man. As far as like next generation goes, we haven't made too much of a leap from 7th gen to 8th gen. 9th gen is where we'll probably see a leap, but we have not seen a leap in this generation outside of resolution. Yeah, you got a couple of 60 frame games, but I mean, you could probably take, if you take both hands, right? If you take both hands and you start counting, you can probably count how many 60 frame games came out that ran at a solid resolution and ran at a solid 60 frames this generation. And people want 60 frame games, and these consoles can't do that. So I wouldn't be surprised, man, if these consoles came out a lot sooner than y'all thought. I really wouldn't. He said this gen has been trash. Let's be honest. Look, the amount of remakes and remasters tells you the whole story, man. Tells you the whole story. He said you'll be counting pixels, I'll be counting my exclusives. Well, they're not your exclusives if I got the same exclusives you got. But like I said, I'm a multi-platform gamer anyway, so it don't matter, man. Wherever the heat is, I'm going, man. I'm going wherever the heat is at, man. I'm going wherever the heat is at, man. If the heat is over here, I'm over there. You know what I mean? I don't have a loyalty towards crappy stuff. Like, if I want the new hot shit and the new hot shit is left, I'm going left. If the new hot shit is right, I'm going right. It all depends, man. It all depends, man. It all depends. If Nintendo Switch make like I had this discussion on the Weapon World podcast. If Nintendo made GTA 6 exclusive to the Switch, I would be buying a Switch if I didn't have one. You feel me? So that's just how that will work. That's just how that goes. That's just how that goes. He said, if anything, games will run at 40 frames. 60, nope. Yeah, but like I said, a lot of people cried about 60 frames this generation. Game developers didn't really pay y'all any mind. It was a whole bunch of articles to support the claim that developers weren't paying you guys no mind crying about that 60 frames. But I'm sure these consoles want to push high resolutions and frame rates because they want to sell you TVs. Microsoft got deals going with Samsung to sell you TVs. Sony has their own TVs. Sony purposely took the Blu-ray player out of the Pro so that they can have the Blu-ray player sold separately for you people that want to watch Ultra Blu-rays. Things like that prove that they want to sell you hardware. And it's been that way ever since I was a kid. It used to always be more about hardware than software, but now it's more about software because so much more of it sells. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's just how it's been. You know what I mean? Oh, you know the specs for the new PlayStation, Harris? Wow. Wow. Well, like I said, for them to be talking about it the way they talking about it, that thing got to be in development, like really, really straight in development right now, the way they've been talking about it. But it's been so many remasters and remakes this generation, nobody out there could turn around and say that this was a good generation for gaming. Like, you can't say it. It was too many remakes and remasters for anybody to turn around and say that. It just was not the case. It did not happen. This generation was cool. I liked it, but it was definitely not a good generation. It's not one of the generations when you look back and gonna say, hey, 8th generation was my favorite. It was my top 3. None of that. You're not gonna have that discussion. You're not gonna be saying that about it. You know what I mean? This generation was good. It's not great. First of all, this was the generation of the remaster. That's what this generation is going to go down as. So you can't bait me and sit up here and tell me this generation was great, because I know you're just trolling. At the end of the day, this generation was going to go down as the generation of the remake or the remaster. That's the name of this generation. They even remastered their consoles this generation. They remastered 7th generation games and remastered consoles. We had 2 remasters of the Xbox One this generation. Come on, B. Come on, B. Come on, B. Don't make me start roasting. Don't make me start roasting. But anyway, I know that the conversation was getting good. I gotta go do my civic duties. I gotta get out of here, man. It was nice talking to y'all. I got some thumbnails in the works and graphics in the works, so you will see a couple of Riding with Jimmy's popping up here and there. I'm gonna try to like do a little bit more of them. Not as much as I used to, but just a little bit more. But thank you to everybody that came to the stream. I gotta get out of here. Y'all be good and y'all be blessed, man. And yeah, man, look forward to that new PS5 and that Xbox too. Peace.